Man used to go to war and
Oh, whoa. Hello. Hi. Still on the road, ho? I can't hear you if you're saying anything. Still can't hear you. Down by the river. riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna do it until she's able to talk in the microphone. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, come in, do take me home. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by. I'm going to chalk this up to having technical difficulties because you're not at your house. Unless it's me that's the problem. No. Just double check. No. It's not me. Well, this is bizarre. The troubleshooting will begin. Okay, he's grabbing a microphone. Hello, Chris. I did the impossible the other night. I was able to do something that is not often done. Give me a second while I get it on the screen. How am I doing? I'm alive. That's as good as it gets. What I did is I pushed the York account to gold. However, I have a feeling it's about to demote during this stream. And how I did it is I shit stomped an Irelia. Absolute blowout.
Hello.
There's the hoe. What you doing, hoe?
Nothing, waiting on my McGriddle. And I have to take a shower because I have to leave.
Still working with your mother?
I would probably working now because, we basically got everything here and unpacked, nearly. So, but, we're gonna go out and celebrate my father's birthday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna be out all night?
Probably not. I don't know exactly when we're gonna be back, but I'll put it in the ballpark around like 5 or 6.
Okay. At some point in time, after I'm done playing the Upset Rage game, I'm gonna have a VsChat. I got a lot of fucking content that I need to get through the backlog of so I can make my 1K special. And I want that to be out sometime this year, preferably before, during, or after the week of my birthday, so I have to chew my way through a bunch of breadtube bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I do the fucking final edit, I don't know, I'll probably have you do some shit. It lets you get your fucking licks in.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, how was your day?
Fine. I've been rummaging through Mom Life Comics Instagram.
Your mother has an Instagram?
No, You know those Mom Life comics people have been
Oh,
tweeting?
mom life. I thought you said your mom's liked comments in Instagram.
No. You are deaf, my Negro.
I'm not deaf. The mic is just ass. More importantly, how'd you like passing through my state? Dog shit, right?
I wasn't that bad. We mostly passed through decent, well, yeah, we have a route. We were on a route that avoided like certain areas, like toll booths and shit. So
Yeah, you passed through Bumfuck, Georgia.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad really, because we were mostly driving through like woodland areas.
You didn't get to go anywhere fun like Midtown. I thought you were going to just be like, hey, we're gonna stop here for a couple days. And it's like, bitch, I can't host you. At the same time, there's more Dave & Buster's there than there is here. Stars and Stripes, Dave & Buster's. Something for you to do for like a night while you're there. Not like it's the Powers and Lights district in Kansas City, Missouri. But then again, your mom now lives in Florida. So I guess that gives you the better ability to, like, visit if you wanted to? I don't fucking know. At the very least, your mother's not in Chicago. I have no idea if we lost her or not. She just stopped talking.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm hungry, and then like I'm not even up to oh god, conversing, because I'm just hungry and I want my fucking coffee immediately.
Oh, so I'm super annoying to you right now.
Yes.
Chat, you have to let her. Also, I'm streaming right now, but there's only one person here. You have to make Jay feel better. Type hearts in the chat.
The only way you're going to feel better is with caffeine right now, and it's on its way. So.
Well, considering that you're in Florida right now, I can actually do better than caffeine. I can do caffeine and dick. Question is, do you want him white or do you want him dark? You get your choice. Do you want to be blacked or bleached? I'll let them know to give you the girlfriend package. So make her dickmatized.
The fuck?
Nothing broke. I just have a lot of shit on my desk. Including my oral throat spray. Ah, which I hate with a burning passion. Because it's cherry flavored. And it's not the fun oral throat spray either. Alright, Doc, I can see what's up for today. I think I need to re-edit. Well, not re-edit. I need to use the screen cap that I used. Or captured from the last stream and make that the thumbnail for the last one. And update the process for the new one. Okay, let's see here. Podcast chat ideas. Oh, yeah, that's right. First one was the serfs, and now today is a full block of signifier. Yeah, that's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna fucking hurt. The question is, do I want to listen to him talk about how black men are objectified, or do you want to listen to his take about the takes plural about the manosphere? Have you? Well, he posted the first one. You told me about it, but I never sat down and watched the dissecting the manosphere. And he made a second one called Connecting the Manosphere. Have you watched either of these to completion?
I think, hang on. You're talking about FD Signifier, right?
Yes, Black Uncle Iroh. This nigga named himself that, okay? That's already sus enough.
I think one of these videos, he kind of like, he shouted me out in a very petty way. I didn't watch the whole video, though.
Wasn't it just like the clip of like you on a stream?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember you showing me that, and then you took the shit down. I guess because he was doing something on a re-edit. I don't know.
Yeah, he was I think he was putting in some kind of ad.
Yeah. Ads. Today's sponsor is BetterHelp, so that you can get absolutely no fucking help. Let's see here. After that, who do I have? Somebody gave a video for Super Patch Eyewolf. Influencer courses are garbage. The dark side of content creation, which there's like so many of those that exist, but I don't feel like that's something that requires VsChat, because it's not something that is well known or not well known to need to have discussion to the point where there's people saying everybody should watch this, but then when you watch it, it's like L. Plus, I don't think there's enough people who are stupid enough now to fall for basic influencer content from people like Heron Heller. You know, the kind of YouTube guru kind of shit. Saying if you do this, you'll have a better time growing, period. Because, like, there are so many examples that demonstrate that's false. Like, Ruin Leon, for example. It's not to say that it's impossible for a person to grow, and it's not to say that a person can't do it. But it's really dumb how many people are like, yeah, I did this, and then after doing that, I was able to just make infinite amounts of money. It was an infinite money glitch. Those don't exist on YouTube anymore. Maybe once upon a time during the Reply Guy days, but ever since, no. Either somebody else promotes somebody else, or somebody has to do the hard, grueling work of getting noticed, or they go viral because either one, somebody has victimized them, or two, they have victimized someone else, and now every single commentary channel is talking shit about them, and not many of them are willing to do the effort of showing people what actually happened. So, the order goes Blowblacks, then Nicholas Diorio, then Turkey Tom. These are interchangeable. And then big YouTuber, at least above 10k or 10 mil subs. Then Abba and Preach. And then down the pipeline it goes into the multiple different pipelines of content creation. BreadTube gets a handle on it. Shitposters get a handle on it. Normies get a handle on it. Then it hits Twitter. Then we get the screen caps of people. And then at the top of the cycle, but only after I've seen enough takes from people, then people like you and I can intercede. And that's the content flow. The only way to break that cycle is basically for people to agree that something is so important that it needs to be discussed and that it has to be addressed immediately. So like artisan builds, for example, KP's situation, which then makes a very fun question, which nobody's actually answered, which is why does it take somebody being victimized in order to get people to say, hey, yeah, maybe we should finally do something about this? It's not a rhetorical question, by the way. No answer?
Man, I wasn't even listening. I have no idea what the fuck you were saying.
Yes, but that's normal, so I'll repeat myself. Why does it require either a large content creator being victimized, a smaller content creator being victimized, or a small content creator being victimized and nobody trying even a little bit to find out the true information about a problem, a situation, or drama in total, to get them to say, hey, yes, this is a problem, we should probably address it. And I don't mean like on a YouTube level, because YouTube doesn't do shit unless they've been told about it by fucking Randalls like Jake Lucky. But societally, why does it require someone to be victimized before people realize that a problem is a problem?
I mean, I heard you, but I don't have the mental capacity to answer that. I need to eat something.
Okay.
I just can't be bothered right now.
Note to Gigolo, feed her, then dig her out. Oh shit, is that Jay Longhorn? Yes, Chris! You're not the only one today slow on the uptake. Okay. Just make sure that I can go around and ask these people things. I'm gonna let you go for about an hour. I'm gonna see if Aiden is available to talk, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye!
Bye!
There's a good possibility she might be working on her video. The audio's kind of scuffed. Oro Crosso, you gotta let me sub next month too. I don't control your money, Chris. You can do what you want. If you want to sub, you can sub. I mean, Jay Longwood had scuffed audio. She's in a different place than where she lives right now. She's in a different state helping her parent move. Try not to demote. Not demoting is the important part. Bap bappin', plap plappin', dabbin', cheek slappin', plap plappin', plap plap plappin'. Darius. Darius.
Fear not. I will make use of your corpse.
Ew. What the fuck is that? That's so disgusting. To give up tower pressure. Because of Darius. You hit MR7 on York already. I have the tokens for it. Well, I have the tokens for 6. Ew. Fucking Gavos Flash again. This team should never be allowed to win a game ever, on the sheer fact that they only have one form of actual team fight crowd control in the form of Vigar Cage. Should never be allowed to get close to anyone or work ever.
Tired, ancient, and half dead. Still,
I would like to start with the tier, but the tier start is not as effective versus Darius as the ring start. Start with Monopole, because I'll have 95 throw at his face because of the Doran's ring.
Seconds until minions spawn.
At least we have a Vladimir who can run these people down. Guys are attracting a lot of heat.
we shall prevail.
Okay. Push him out.
Minions have spawned.
I wanted to move here to do the cutoff, but the problem is that even if we kill him there, we don't actually do anything, and we didn't have the ability to kill him there. This is a lot of damage for him to take.
To most, life is fleeting. To me,
I can wait over the wall to see what he does first. Because I'm assuming he's standing right here.
My curse is our only hope. Amateur hour.
Called it. So tired of Darius cheese.
Get foul! I remember when I put them in the ground. They once called these isles undying, yet die they will. I must gain time. Respects to the dying. I do not live in hope. I work to return it.
There's a smell you can feel. You're looking a little green.
You decay and do not know it.
First,
You retreat like a sound.
I will return on. Watch it! I go wherever souls are adrift. The Isles remember. A curse upon the ground.
And let the shit work on you.
This journey is long, but I will complete it. I shall perform your rites. It is to the grave we go. What's one more grave? Straight roads. The damned resist back off. The ruined king. I'm here to dogs of his curse. Watch it. Feel its pull.
Get fucked!
Your remains will serve a purpose. Death used to mean something.
I know that Warwick is on the map, thank you, but that doesn't help me. That does help me.
Do not resist.
Go. Take what you will. Prepare your epitaph. Ah, yes. I remember you. Don't bury me with it. You can't take it with you. The dead have not forgotten.
Notice how Darius does not have any fucking care or abandon to actually playing the match correctly.
Double kill.
He's just trying to run in and cheese. This is a player who doesn't know how to play anything other than
Constant
Darius.
wailing of
Or
souls
indefensible
in
cheese.
torment.
Means the correct play here is to simply wait at my tower line, because he's just going to keep doing what he's doing.
The ruined king's allies shall fall with him. Straight road. The Isles remember. These eyes, how they scream.
Yep, he's not going to walk up. So I'm not going to walk up. He wants to run at me with Ghost.
Don't hear you, no matter how you cry. The ruins of these isles rise to smite you. Our souls are a small price to pay to cleanse this land.
An enemy has been slain.
So many souls, so few bodies.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
The beyond is waiting. Strive to meet it. Back off! Want some? To destroy
Enemy has been slain.
Once upon a touch, till death.
Has slain an enemy.
All that to kill my mate and you still fucking die because you fucking AFK.
Company of whales.
Imagine running your lane down because your Darius cheese isn't working on a laner. Imagine, guys.
An enemy has been slain.
Imagine being that dog shit at the game.
Tears of life preserve me. What's one more grave? I am no tyrant. These souls act on their own.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been
Straight
slain.
roads. Death is not always peace. I still draw breath. Tell me of the beyond, in case I never make it. I must dig. A profane sacrifice to delay the end. Flesh that will soon find earth. Back off! Take notes! Get foul!
An enemy has been slain.
Remember my name, for one day I will not. An unholy mark upon you.
An
I
enemy
do
has
not
been
know
slain.
what lies beyond,
Enemy killing spree.
but it behold the horrors of the Isle.
Shut down.
The Isles remember. I shall perform your rites. But for the waters, the mist would take me. Hallowed or profane, I no longer know.
Shut down.
Do you hear that? It is the end.
Here's something that won't wash off.
Enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Your domination.
One more step toward the end. The dead shall forgive me. I hope. What's
Your
one
team
more
has
grave?
destroyed a turret.
From the ground they come, and to it they return.
An ally has been slain.
Our origins. things with you.
This man built Stridebreaker.
An ally has been slain.
I must dig. It claims you.
Hi, I'm Darius, and I don't like people being able to run away from me.
Now they're a prison.
An ally has been slain.
Bro, just back away from him. Nope.
I shall perform your rites. Shovel for the dead.
Rampage.
Get foul. Your tomb waits.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Daddy wasn't there.
Necessary.
Take me to the fair. Change my underwear. Daddy wasn't there. Daddy. Okay.
An ally has been slain.
Which one do I? Eclipse?
Enemy killing
There will
spree.
be no requiem. Not yet.
This phone is buzzing non-stop with my alarm.
Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
Has become skin. What's one more grave? And get foul! It's you they seek. It fouls upon
Your turret has been destroyed.
life is disinterment. Watch them squirm.
Fucking cheeser.
Straight roll.
Your team has destroyed your turret.
Go.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
Mist comes.
Fucking cheeser.
Shut down.
Guy's abusing fucking Warwick, camping out the bottom lane, and he doesn't get a kill on me, so he just sits there. Using everything, including his ultimate, to try and fuck me.
Even.
Bro, you gotta be embarrassed about that.
Too long.
An ally has been slain.
Overstaying.
Soon, this depravity will end. scatter their
Enemy killing
remains.
spree.
Running down our support. We're standing in front of the dragon and not helping her.
I must dig. The bells toll, and I respond. The mist writhes, searching for a place to take root.
You're a nette for getting this. You're never getting this sour.
Get far! The Isles remember.
Ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
We all age. All
Enemy
things
double kill.
fade, but me. What a beautiful dream is life. Profane sacrament. An unholy. If they could see what I see, they'd long for death. Watch it! This never ends.
Has been slain.
Enemies running at us in a straight line, but we don't want to protect people when we're standing all around the same lane.
Killing spree.
I cling to life by the thinnest. Ours is a fate worse than death.
Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain.
I carry these souls to their end, wherever it may
Enemy
be.
rampage.
Stop trying to forfeit and play the game.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I shall perform your rites. Feel its pull.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
It claims you. I am to bury you. I've come too far to stay dead.
We devour it. It becomes us.
See?
Where are you going? Exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
It is Quagmire.
Walking off on the side when there's nothing to walk at.
My curses are only on. Another voice in the cacophony of wheels. The grave is your home. Take shape.
Look at the wrong you do.
It is necessary. I remember when I put them in the ground. What's one more grave? I must dig. They once called these isles undying, yet die they will. My path is a circle, my work.
Notice how I call to play and he's still standing there.
I do not live in hope. I work to return it. I go wherever
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
This journey is long, but I will complete it.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
Join me, brother. To dirt you return.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Arise and return to this world. A curse upon the ground. Material items for the material world. It is to the grave we go.
Armor stack.
The ruined king will soon meet the victims of his curse. Isles remember. An unholy mark upon them.
An ally has been slain.
Want some?
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Enemy double kill.
One can join me. I shall absorb your life.
lose the game because Vladimir can't be on time! It's so annoying!
Defeat.
It's impossible to win a game when a person plays that badly. Aren't you not supposed to chase Yorick? Darius was very angry and upset that I was beating his ass, so he built Stridebreaker, which meant that even if he doesn't catch me, he just needs to catch someone. They didn't treat him like a threat, they didn't treat him like he had lethal, and they just ran it the fuck down until he died. And because Vlad refuses to listen and communicate to any person, he's always anywhere other than where he needs to be standing, which is in between the back line and the front line. So we never get our damage where it needs to be, we can never get access to the back line because they never flank, and they just die. It's a hard fort. The only thing that can be done there is that guy gets banned from the game. So much good work gone from that level of dog shit. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Let's see here. How long do I want to torture myself with League of Legends? 3 hours? 3 hours. I'm playing League of Legends for 3 hours.
Spoon might want to stream at some point. He brought it up to me and then kind of dropped the subject, so I don't know what he wants to do.
Did you tell him that I'm gonna have a versus chat today?
Is there gonna be a live stream?
Yes.
I mean, if you'd like, we could ask him to come on. We could just come on and shoot the shit.
Exactly. Today is fucking Signifier. We have 3 videos to get through.
Oh, hell yeah. He used to go on his stream all the time, but I haven't, like, ever since we started the podcast, he doesn't go on anybody else's show, and then he's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I love the dude, but, like, I don't know what's happened, but I feel like I've made him insular because he only wants to talk to me.
No one else can have me. I need the hammer to myself.
Right, it's like, well, I need to talk to the other monarchist, because everybody else isn't a monarchist, so me. That's fine, understandable, have a nice day. But, I mean, dude, we talk, like, literally all day about bullshit, politics, whatever, you know? But yeah, he doesn't go on anyone else's stream, and even he'll go on Uses, I think, sometimes. But last time I invited him, he didn't want to come on, it was weird. I just asked him that, so we'll see.
Mordekaiser with Shyvana and Gangplank. I can't stand near them. At the same time, Inspiration Tree. There's a world I can open his ass up. There won't be a wide gate.
Fear not.
It's a pretty stable team that can his ass down with Julia. God bless that stupid fucking champion. See here. Tower Siege. It's guaranteed indefinite, but I still can't walk near him. I have to go for the split push in this game. Oh yeah, that reminds me. There was a leftist that no, I shouldn't use the word leftist because I don't think he is a leftist. But once upon a time, when I was still working for Total Systems, the credit card company, I once got a Lyft ride from a person who was, I would say, maybe a normal liberal. I think he's a libertarian now because of an entire long backstory that I'd rather him tell than me. But I recorded our conversation and basically got him to say, yeah, I don't support these leftists. These guys are fucking cringe and weird. And I ended up meeting him again, working at my job. And I mentioned to him actually the other night that he should just probably talk to you at some point in time.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm giggling because I was watching the Lotus Eaters and I paused to pick up the call, and I paused on a really, really good reaction image of Carl's face. Not
British
you, Carl,
Carl.
the other Carl.
British Carl.
British Carl. British Carl. Here, I'll say. This happens to me a lot, where I'll be watching really Lotus Eaters and I'll pause and then just happen to pause on a really good reaction image.
Yeah, I do it all the time. In fact, I got one of those today. I used stream. Yeah. Well, I have those all the time.
I know. It's a thing about any kind. Whenever you're making a video where you actually, that's why one of the reasons I don't. That's so good. That's a great reaction. One of the reasons I don't do video with my face is because I know for a fact that you can pause at any point in a video and it will probably be a really silly face because you're not expecting it. And there's a thing like there's like an image that goes around to me one time or a lot from a really early video I made where I was doing face cam, and I look crazy, and it's like, yeah, because you could pause at any second of any random video and the person will look fucking weird. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah. I don't think one way or another about it. In your case, it's a bit, well, I wouldn't say you have an odd face. It's that you... If any person who's been on the stream has seen the cosplay pictures you posted, it's that you have the kind of nose that whenever any person has a face like this, it's gonna be exploitable no matter what.
Oy vey, Goyam, what are you saying about my nose?
My army will soon storm your gates, Revenant.
I'm saying nothing verboten.
I'm not even Jewish, but I do have a large nose for my face. I have a really small head, actually. Another thing to be clipped out of context, you know. But like, I just have a small skull. My head is really tiny. I don't know. Bill makes fun of me for it all the time, but how it's because his skull is massive. Like, he's got a giant like Neanderthal fucking skull, which makes me afraid about us having children in the future. I'll put it that way. If that DNA comes through. But I just have a really small skull, and my nose is large, only comparatively to the size of my head. And then, comparatively to anyone else's nose, I think it's a quite petite one. But just because my head is so minuscule. Oh fuck. So I was putting some shit. I've been grinding my teeth at night, and I've lost my retainer, so I keep having to fucking hurting my gums with my own teeth while I sleep. I have to put on this ointment. That just deals with, what do you call it? Like, it's called Oragel or something. It's for, no, it's not it. Anbesol, which sounds like it's for your butt, right? But I don't know. It numbs your mouth. That's what I was doing. Very entertaining day.
I shall perform your rites. It is
Sorry, I'm also gonna be editing my video while we're chilling out, so if I'm also not super talkative, that would be why. Working on this video for it feels like forever. I'm so ready to be over with it.
See, I feel the same way whenever I edit anything, because I prefer to live stream more than I make videos. It's not that I'm incapable of it. It's just I prefer the format of live streaming, because a lot more of the shit that I do is ephemeral, but when I want something to be evergreen, then I will put it in video format. And I find that more people prefer to pop into a live stream often than not to do it for anything else, just because of that preferability. I'm not sure if it's because of the generation of people who would prefer.
I think it's generational and it's a parasocial thing. You know what I mean? Because people like want to feel that they're hanging out with somebody. Whereas in a video,
searching for a place,
you know, it's pre-recorded. I would say that the YouTube Premiere function kind of bridges the gap there weirdly, because you can interact with the chat for the live stream, and then you basically have the VOD. I mean, the video itself is all edited and clean and stuff, but you know, you can still be there in the chat. If you have a Discord, you can be in the Discord watching it, etc. You know, so it kind of is the best of both worlds, I suppose.
I tend to be very lazy when it comes to the video, for when it comes to just video premieres, because in my experience, whenever I've tried to do a premiere, it ends up just not popping off the way I would like it to. I guess it's because my size is still small, but I prefer to do it in a live stream. Or if there's a thing that happens that if I'm giving like a piece of content that is media from someone who has submitted something, or something being given to me by an audience member who wants me to watch it, that I will try to get clips and highlights from what is being discussed inside the content, so that I can show that it came from somebody who is a fan of the channel or a friend of the channel, what have it.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. Sorry, I was messaging the Spoon too to see if you want to come on and hang out. But, I mean, it's... Yeah, like, I like doing the weekly stream, so I do get it. And it's fun to hang out with people. Somebody was in the chat and they were like, talking some shit and being like, oh, nobody watches this. There's something like 100 people watching. Like, yeah, it's not for me, or like, it's, if people want to watch it, they can watch it. I don't give a shit. I don't understand that crap.
I actually fully understand that mentality, because that is the mentality of Shark03. Nobody's watching. Nobody actually cares about your content. You're just wasting your time. It's very much the I don't exist unless other people watch me. And it's probably the cringest kind of shit that I could ever see, because it's like, okay, so you only do things for validation. So if a person... It's like that dumbass comment that Surf's made. If people enjoy your content, and people are watching your content, then that person watching your content validates what you're doing. And it's like, no, it fucking doesn't. Like, the success of my content is very much dependent upon how many people are telling me that it's good. And it shouldn't. You should want to make the content because you want to make the content, not because you preferably want to stop or help or make other people enjoy making it.
Dude, that's so fucking much, because, like, I've made a bunch of videos where I knew, and I was like, hey, I'm about to dump 3 weeks of work into making this video, writing it, editing it, recording it, editing it. I'm gonna jump 3 weeks into this, and I know for a fact from second one, nobody really is interested in this. I am though. Not. I think the video I'm working on right now, I think people will be interested in, but it's also, that also is hard to always navigate, as to, because you can't really predict what people are interested in. But like, so I've done a bunch of. I did a video series on, like, was this last year or the year before? 3 videos on horror, a big series. So I spent like 2 months working on all these videos, all which are like 45 minutes to 50, an hour long, about the psychology of horror. And I knew nobody gives a shit. it's one of my passions is studying horror films and what about media makes people scared, when, why, how, that's just stuff that interests me. So I was like, I'm gonna make 3 videos on this, and I don't care if anyone watches them, whatever. And they really didn't. Some of the worst performing videos on my channel, like all my other videos were, it actually did hurt my channel, by the way, because YouTube looks at that shit. So like all my videos are getting like, 50, 70,000, 100,000 views, in that kind of area. And I put up these 3 horror videos, they all get like 15. And then all my videos after that were like 30, 35, not reaching the level it was before, because then YouTube basically looked at that and said, oh, nobody cares about this channel anymore. Great, thanks a lot, Susan. Just because I did a passion project. Thought we cared about creators here. Clearly not.
That motherfucker noped the shit out of there. Every single time.
Yeah.
Ever since they changed Mordekaiser's ultimate to becoming a new reskin version of old,
We have eternity.
hold on. About to have to dive a man.
Again, bro, makes me want to play, but I only have Dota installed, and I haven't played League in, fuck, like 8 years. That would probably not be fun to play with, because I wouldn't know what the fuck. And I'm so into Dota, and have been for so long, I wouldn't have any idea how to do anything anymore. I do love playing MOBAs though.
Another voice, cacophony.
That required me to burn my ult.
My path is a circle. My work never ending.
By the way, he's dead.
Oh, good. Got he.
But yeah, they changed his ability to use his ultimate into a realm suppression, which only can get countered by Quicksilver Sash. So if he gets on top of it and he uses his ultimate, you're basically caught for at least 8 seconds next to him, which is usually death for most characters. But you just get Q assess and turn that shit off. And as soon as he saw that I broke that, he's like, nope, flash. No, I was supposed to win. You're not supposed to be able to counter this.
Yeah, fucking Aldi.
But yeah, it's always been something that has annoyed me when it comes to the idea of making videos, because there are so many people that would use the measurement of you don't matter unless you have over XK subs, because it's like,
Yeah, that stuff's dumb as shit, man.
if I
And
don't,
also, like, that's a weird as fuck thing to say to me. I got 120,000 subs. Like, it's not not a massive YouTube channel, but it's a pretty big one. So it's like the fact that I'm doing this on my ult. I didn't respond to that comment or anything because it was really dumb. But didn't anything like, what the fuck? Do people actually think that way? I guess they do. Of being like, oh well, there's only 100 people watching the stream right now. First of all, for a channel that I started 6 months ago, that's really not bad, you know. And now some people do way better. It depends. But like, you know, I watched Lore Lodge, which is or not Lore Lodge. They have a different channel for the podcast for that Wendigoon does with Lore Lodge. Or is that the name of the channel? I'm getting all confused now. Wendigoon's got 1 million subs, and yet his podcast channel, it's got like 15,000. And they've been doing it for like a year. It's just, those podcast channels, I mean, it's for people who are like really big fans, basically of an existing channel, or who happen to find it. Again, I think even Lotus Eaters has got like 200,000 subs. I think I just saw it a minute ago. And it's like, you know, we know Carl's got over 1 million. And Lotus Eaters is huge. But even then, podcast channels, they just don't do as well as they used to. And honestly, who gives a fuck? It's just, you know, I wanted to talk about what happened this week. So I'm gonna do it one or the other. I can sit in a Discord call with Spoon and bitch at him about it, or I can do it in front of people and have a fun time. We can all have fun.
I have several opinions. The first opinion, I think the people say it because they're results oriented. And a lot of the people who say it may have some level of resentment. Not all of them, but the majority of them will have some level of resentment and say, well, you can't make it because I didn't make it. And I remember having this conversation with my sister, because one of the things that happened during the COF is that I was working multiple jobs, one of which was in a factory for a company called Iodine, where I was making machining parts, and then the second one was Full Systems, where, man, that was a fucking doozy and a half. But during both of them, I was dealing with harassment from my middle child sibling, who was also one of my sexual assaulters. And
Jesus Christ.
My sister apparently started this dark trend herself, and I was supposed to be just like, bro, it's not even a big deal, it's no problem. So, right there, we're already failing the stereotype of dealing with problems in the black family household, because I had to struggle with that for the majority of my life. No one gave a fuck. So, hearing people say to me, no one's gonna care, no one's gonna matter, it's not gonna blow up. That was annoying enough to hear on its own all the time, because then it's like I'm denying my true self to try and be what other people want, and I already say where that goes. That goes to like a Carl. So, on the flip side of that, on the side of hearing it from my own family members, hearing my sister say, well, I don't think you have what it takes, little bro, from my sister, and she, granted, she founded the university system that ended up becoming the university student life group that I ended up joining. But to hear it from her and say that I didn't have what it takes to make it after basically establishing to myself, I'm gonna do it come hell or high water, I just said, no, I don't believe you. Also, I don't fucking care. And one of the things that happened was that
honestly.
she got very, very, very annoying about the vaccines. Like, annoyingly stupid about the vaccines.
I'm so fucking truly blessed that I have nobody in my family who's like that. Like, I mean, both my parents are conservative, but we were both hippies, so they were like, I mean, back in the day, you know, they're older, so they were both hippies, so they're like chill and they're very libertarian about things, so they're not obnoxious, you know, neocon types. They're like proper libertarian conservatives, and I've never had to deal with that kind of fucking, like, the vaccine shit. Both my dad and my stepmom, first of all, they're both 70, okay? So they got vaccinated because they were 70, right? And I understand that. I get it. Why they would have done that. They were being told by, and my dad didn't buy the shit. He didn't buy it, but he was like, well, take a chance. I don't want to get COVID, because now he's had it, by the way. He got COVID twice, and so did his wife. So, you know, whatever. Joe Biden apparently has had COVID twice in the last 2 weeks. Do you see this shit?
Yes.
Even though he's you know, allegedly quintuple vaccinated. But my mom, she had to get vaccinated because of her job. She didn't have a choice. It was like, you cannot work, even though she's a preschool teacher, you know. And it was like, you can't. I get it. It's a school, but you're talking about working with the group of people that are like literally the least affected by COVID. You know, we know that from data. And no, you gotta get vaccinated. Literally, she was gonna get fired if she didn't do it. So that shit sucks. But they both didn't like that stuff. You know, basically forcing them to being vaccinated. All three of my parents, you know, my stepmom included, hated that crap. They did it, but they didn't like it. The vax shit. And everyone in my mom's extended family who I'm close with, all my cousins, and my mom has 7 brothers and sisters. So, and they all have like 4 kids. So I have like 30 something cousins, you know what I mean? So, but all of them are pretty much similar. Like, they don't believe in any of that crap. I'm very lucky in that sense of coming from a family that just is very working class and doesn't believe in bullshit. So, you know.
Yeah. The first thing that I did when my sister did that is I ended up calling my godfather. It's a clip that probably is now lost to time along with a lot of other of my bangers. But it's a phone call where I told him about it, and he has more or less been the father that I have not properly had. Of course, I know who my father is, just he's a jackass. Less like my brother has turned out to be. So, just dealing with... You guys get the fuck off my maiden? Fucking cringe. Your tower's gone. Why are you still sitting around mid?
Tell me of the beyond, in case I never make it.
On 2 sides of the issue, I have my sister saying, well, you can't be able to make it because I didn't make it. Then, on the other side of it, I have my godfather that says, you can do whatever the hell you want to. So I just choose to go in the direction of, well, it's nice that you give me this advice, but at the same time, I'm still going to do it any fucking ways. And after I did that, she then wanted to see what kind of videos I made. I believe the opinion that I heard from her was, well, you're just making that kind of content. What she meant was that she thought I was making content like actual porn. Not like actual porn.
what?
No. Jake.
I shall perform your rites. An unholy mark.
I just call him the porn fucker because I don't think he has anything going for him except for that corn suit. Which I guess also is an opinion that now applies to the Amazing Atheist, who's decided to become Vosh clone number 5,678.
He's crazy. He's legitimately, I think, like, insane, TJ. Because, I don't fucking understand it, but, like, all the shit he does now is so weird. He is... His whole start was like, you know, fuck the system, you know, all that stuff, and now he just completely suck the system is what you do now, TJ. It's so bizarre. I made fun of him for shoving a banana up his ass, you know.
Who didn't?
We are dead
But honestly, I think what's more cringe is the way he's changed. I think that his silly political takes now are even more cringe than shoving a banana up his ass.
I mean, that's the way that most of them ended up going, which is bizarre to me. I guess my June opinion is more different than that because I actually grew up watching her. So my opinion there is mixtured with what she did before and what she does now and who she is and what we've seen. And
Wait, June, right?
Yes. Go on ahead.
Yeah. I'm friends with June. Well, I don't know if we call us friends, but I'm friendly with her.
Sociable. Sociable
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'd use.
Sure. I like her content. I don't think her content has really changed significantly, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it's gotten like higher quality. It's not with the webcam potato mic anymore, or potato cam anymore. But I don't think she's really significantly changed. I could be wrong. I think she's one of the people who've actually, I respect for saying, seemingly quite stable. And I think that's admirable. You know, she's always been center left, but center left, not right. She's always been center left. She just hated the woke shit.
Yes.
And so, you know.
That's where my opinion comes from. It's like, she hates the woke shit, but then at the same time, why are you hanging around Ian Kaczynski? That's my thing. That's my only thing.
Wait, is she friends with Vosh?
Yes! There was an entire time period where people kept teasing...
I've seen that.
Yeah, there was an entire time period people kept teasing her saying that she wanted to fuck Vosh. It was never substantiated.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I heard that they like hung out or something a little bit, but then he's also I've seen him talk shit about her and basically call her a fascist.
Yes.
So I don't quite. If I was her, I wouldn't. Well, first of all, for a lot of reasons, I wouldn't fuck with, and I mean in every sense of that word, Ian Kaczynski, because he's a weird guy who I'm. Look, you know, I've really squashed the beef with Destiny in my mind, and I hope things are cool between us or whatever. But after his fans doxed me many years ago, I got a little pissed, right? I got a little bit fucking angry at him, and for a while I did make a video. It's removed. I have removed the video. I removed it myself because I was not proud of it, because it was made in anger and malice, and that's not good. Where I like kind of tried to expose him a little bit, and I went through some of the shit he had said about that seemed to be supportive of pedophilia, right? And I was like, look at this shit. This is 5 years ago, man. This is forever ago, right? Half a decade ago. And I don't stand by that video. It's why I deleted it. I didn't delete it because I was ashamed of what I said or anything. It's because I was ashamed of the fact that I had made it. So that's not cool. I mean, like, look, people make drama videos all they want. I don't have any problem with that, but that's not my brand. That's not what I do. And I was personally mad and let my own feelings about things that weren't actually his fault influence me, and that was a wrong thing to do. So, but still, like, Destiny's had some bad takes, but I'll say, like, Destiny's bad takes, I think most of them you could explain. I have tried to steel man some of Vosh's bad takes. I mean, because I've tried. I really tried to be like, well, what was he trying to say here? No. It's really difficult at some point, Ian, to defend what you're saying. Because I don't want to, like, tear people down, but, like, needlessly. But some of the shit you've said is fucking reprehensible. God damn.
And a lot of it tends to get said just because he knows that it will get sensationalism going.
What a beautiful dream.
I guess if I think about it more, I think my criticisms of June would be when she was having what I'm going to call the phase of her Gregory Fleur / Armored Skeptic arc, where she was dating him and it was made known in public that she was kind of doing more of that mean girl, teehee, this is my man, what do you have kind of shit. That's what I originally saw her from doing. Because right after that,
was she doing that?
Yes.
I didn't really see that, so I don't know.
It was frequent posts on social media as well as posts on Twitter where she was antagonistically mocking people and getting off about it, which is what fueled my opinion about her.
I didn't see that. What about the fact that she was just dating Greg?
To my knowledge, she was in a Daddy's Little Girl, Big Daddy's scenario.
Yeah. They were into that, from what I understand as well. That they were into the kink stuff. What's it called? Daddy Dom, yeah, DDLG, I think. Daddy Dom Little Girl thing. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I don't want to Google it, so I'm gonna assume that's what was the.
It's DDLG.
Alright, that's it. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, when she was doing that, that was when she was at her most obnoxious. And when the absolute annoying tirades that she was doing while doing that, on both Twitter and then on videos that she would post on other social media platforms, that informed my opinion, being like, wow, you really did choose to be like, lol, look at me, I'm a woman on the internet. Which annoyed the piss out of me. Because,
like, I did want to say some shit about that though real quick, like,
yes.
Every fucking woman online gets called a pick-me and gets called, oh, you're doing the look at me shit, and it's like, okay, hang on a minute.
Come too far.
Hold up.
Stay dead.
Move back. There are women who do that. If you just call every woman who's just like living on the, like doing shit online, I get that, because I get that shit every fucking day. Oh, you're only a conservative. Oh, you're only a Christian. Oh, you're only a libertarian, etc. because you want male attention. No. You know what? If I wanted fucking attention and money and fame, I'd just be a fucking socialist like everybody else online. And I'd have my tits out and have a camera turned on. Shit I don't do. It should be kind of fucking obvious that that's not what I'm about, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Because I sure could. I mean, I could, you know, look, I did cosplay for years. I know how to do makeup real well. I could put on a webcam, doll myself all up, and be here and be like,
Let me, hello, I can do the little girl voice, and we could talk actually today about why socialism is totally poggers.
million views. Million fucking views. I don't give a shit, though, because that shit's fucking fake. Fuck that. I mean, not now, but I'm saying if I had started that way, totally could have, you know?
And that's the thing that I wanted to go away from. So, with the advantage of just being able to take the time to find what content I wanted to make, it gave me the ability to say, what content creators do I watch and do I take inspiration from and do I want to be like? And which ones don't I want to be like? And the list went Sargon of Akkad, Short Fat Otaku, you, I'm missing a name here.
Razor Fist, Sticks.
Yes, Razor Fist and Sticks. The two Metal Brothers.
Yeah, man, you know.
The Super Metal Brothers.
The Super Oh my god! I want someone to do that. I'm about to tweet about that. Holy shit. Somebody should make that fucking image.
God damn.
Holy shit. For real though. Like, someone should make that.
Everyone I knew.
Where is the Romac?
It can't be legit unless they use the black and white background. And then another one for color for Sticks. Up against the Super Mario Brothers poster. But yeah, see, that's the...
There,
missing a
where's
couple
the
other
raw
people
pack
here.
of Razor Piston sticks with the Super
fucking
Metal Brothers? There we go.
Markiplier, PewDiePie, a couple of other people who I think just ended up not making anything anymore. But just a list of those content creators, and I'm like, I'm gonna take some time to get my head on straight, and I'm gonna go to college, and if I still want to do things after I'm either done with my education in college, or after I finish my studies or drop out or wherever, I'll go into making that. And I did that, and that happened. And then at the beginning, I would say like year 1, year 2, Carl, I ended up getting into the scenario that was, let me fucking report this Oriana, this guy ran it the fuck down. I got into the situation of my then fiance, now ex-fiance, and started to spend more time focusing on myself, trying to raise up what money I had to try and get my first computer. That then led to the infamous doxing, because Lauren, Tiffany, and Cynthia Cooper couldn't rely on Daddy's oil money to do it for her because she decided to become hard leftist while switching from being a Tea Party member and being a treasurer at her university, which then led me into dealing with Elizabeth Smugroko and basically almost being this hair thin close to becoming employed under Ian Miles Chong.
Okay.
From that point and dealing with Elizabeth, my opinion became, well, I know exactly what I don't want to be like, and I've just been doing that since. Ended up falling into a friendship with Jay Longbone, and it's been like that since. It's not very big. It's probably not the more important background, but it's the Carl background.
Wait a minute, what's going on? You were in a relationship with Jay Longbone?
Friendship, but I guess if you want to call it...
I was gonna say,
if you want to call it
she's funny
something,
as fuck. I love her videos. Holy shit.
If you want to call it something, I would say an entanglement, but not
An entanglement.
Anything,
Ooh.
not anything serious.
I love her shit. She's hilarious, man.
I want to speak ill on it because, one, she will see
Don't worry about it.
And two, even if I wanted to give an opinion, it's not like it was anything serious. What I will say is that we both like being around each other.
Yeah.
So, us making shit is normal.
Yeah.
Besides that, she's a really good friend, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It's you know those times where somebody will say that men just don't understand emotional intelligence, but it's like whenever when in life, when you want to offer someone a position in your life in the value of either friendship or relationship, and whether the man or the woman cannot either open themselves up, be vulnerable enough, or want to be available to that, you would then either default them or then offer them the position of friendship. When it comes to those scenarios, a lot of my friendships online have basically been not, oh man, this girl, this guy, I want to bang him. Oh man, it didn't work out. I guess we're friends now. It's more like, they're a person I want to talk to, and so I do it. It's like, somebody sees you from across the room. Okay, so, let's set up a mental scenario, ladies and gentlemen. So let's imagine that you're in a room with Carl, and Carl sees you from across the room. Past Carl would have been terrified to walk up to people. Liquid Carl would sit there across the room and pull his best fucking Andrew Dobson. You know, the fucking Power Girl incident.
Yeah. I'm well aware of who Andrew Dobson is, yeah.
And current Carl would walk in a straight line from where he saw you. Like, he's walking in one direction, sees you, head turned, body turned in the same direction, starts walking towards you. He's like, hey, yo, girl, what's good? And that's just what I've been doing, time and time again. And I remember the moment that I had to make the mental choice to do that, because it was while I was still in high school, and it was when I got jumped on a bus that gave me my iconic left eye scar that blinded me for like 2 years before I could pay for the LASIK to
Jeez, yeah.
There was there were a lot of girls. There were a lot of girls that had a thing for myself and my brother because we both went to the same high school. He was 3 years separate ahead of me. So, once he graduated, all of the women, and more importantly, all of the struggles and enemies that he had became my enemies. So I ended up becoming indebted to a street gang, because they were basically protecting me on behalf of him.
Yeah.
I had to occasionally get my hands dirty. Once or twice. I can't say what I did, because then I'd be incriminating myself. But, there was a time where there was two young gentlemen by the name of Jakar Cole and Carl Eatman. And I will remember it because it is emblazoned inside of my skull.
Yeah.
These two boys did not like the fact that these women were attracted to me. Because what the fuck is there to like about him? This motherfucker corny.
Whatever, man.
But back then I was full of a lot more life and youthful experience, but I was much more introspective than most. Because in my nerdcore arc, a lot of it was just, I'm just here, just vibing, man. I just want to vibe. And learning to do that and be like that became the basis for so much, to the point that I just wanted to be wanted.
Oh yeah. Which is totally understandable, by the way. It's what everybody wants, ultimately. I mean, it's totally fucking normal.
Yeah.
So,
but they wanted to make a stink of being as toxic as they could possibly think to be to me. And what ended up happening is that one time I found myself in the company of one of their side pieces. And what was supposed to have happened was they were supposed to keep me there in the house, and then they were supposed to send one of his boys to come gank me. What ended up happening is I ended up cooking her dinner. And apparently nobody has ever cooked these women dinner before. Like an actual homemade meal.
I'm sure not.
I don't remember what it was.
But modern women are terrible, but modern men aren't much fucking better in terms of that kind of shit. Jesus. It's, you know, I love cooking, right? But you'd be shocked, like, how little... I guess not shocked. I'm sure you've seen this shit. Women are like, my idea of cooking is I'm gonna make a fucking cheese sandwich. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not saying I'm some, like, master chef or some shit like that, but Bill would probably tell you, he'd be like, he even said it yesterday, because yesterday I just made, I made gravy from scratch, right? Not a big deal at all. And he even, like, said something like, oh, it's the first time we've ever made some non-bullshit. It's like, yeah. Because, by bullshit, he means I always make, like, overly complicated, dumb shit, you know? But... So, yeah, I like to do very complicated, I like to do ethnic food, but by that I mean literally foods from multiple different ethnicities, not just... Like, I like white people food too, and black people food, but what's the difference in America, honestly? Just like, oh, how much butter, and how good it tastes, honestly.
An enemy has been
Dude, it's... I have to say, like, you know, because I grew up kind of in the South, so whatever. But, like, I don't know where. Have you seen the white people food memes of, like, white people don't know? They like they literally just put, like, just a chicken and they don't put anything on it. And I'm like, for real though, I know white people like that who actually do that, who just absolutely no seasonings. And who is it? It's my mom, or my stepmom, excuse me. My stepmom, she's allergic to everything. She's like literally allergic to everything. So if she's gonna make a chicken, or ham, or turkey, whatever, it's legit butter and salt, and that's it. Not even pepper, just nothing. So maybe there's some reality to the meme, you know what I mean? I don't know how real it is, but I, for one, love hot sauce, so I put hot sauce on fucking everything. Not if I'm cooking for other people, though, because I know people can't eat that shit.
I'm on it, Black Shoe.
It'd be great if I had a jungler. Jesus fucking
No,
Christ, how many
did I get on
pings?
that topic? Oh, because I like cooking, yeah.
Yes. How many fucking pings does it take to get a goddamn gank?
Bro, yeah, I love cooking. I love cooking all kinds of shit. It's fun as fuck. I find it really relaxing, honestly. Because, like, when you're cooking, you can kind of turn your brain off. Other things that would
Bro, I did not call you
bother
up here for that shit. Come on! Push my way then!
Fuck, dude. Oh, fuck, dude. Why would he put... Well, he's not gonna push the wave in, probably. Usually with a tower up, yeah?
Yes. She's literally all the way up the lane at my tower. He could literally just walk her ass down, and now finally is, now that he realized, oh wait, she's not 6. She can't do that. Now she's dead. But yeah, she had never had a person cook for her, because whenever whenever they did anything with anyone, it was always supposed to be at a function. It was always supposed to be, well, he's only doing this because he wants head, or he's only doing this because he wants some ass.
Oh, whatever, man. Fuck that.
So
Like,
I
hate that kind of fucking mentality that people only act out of because they want sex. It's first of all, it's degenerate. Secondly, it's not how people work. And if you have that mindset, I think you're kind of fucked, to be honest.
I felt sad for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Killing spree.
Because I can understand why she'd feel like that, but at the same time, it's like, look at the guys you surround yourself with. I think she has a proper family home structure now, but it took her a while to get there, because she wasn't really giving herself something to appreciate. But it's like, made her food, and so she's like, you gotta leave. I'm like, what? I thought everything was going good. Like, no, you need to leave. And of course, I hadn't realized until as she was sending me out the back what she was doing. But she figured, there's nothing wrong with this guy. He's literally just wanting to be himself. And I can't let him die because this guy is upset.
Yeah, jeez.
And since that day, they had it out for me. Because they thought, well, he's corny, he doesn't understand anything about anything, so he wouldn't know what it looks like or what it would sound like if we were trying to set him up to get assassinated. So what it ended up happening was that I just kept outplaying all of the situations that they kept trying to put me in to make me look dumb.
I'm worried about that assassinated bit, but yeah, alright.
Well, you see, I live in the South, so when people want to do things like set somebody up the bomb, they will usually do so by seeing if they can get them to go to a place that they shouldn't be.
Yeah. Ooh, that's scary though. Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd do in that circumstance, man. Jesus.
Apparently, what my childish brain told me was, well, I just think they're jealous. Because I remember a time in my life when I was very, very jealous of a guy over what he had. And I told myself then, nah, I'm not going to be a coward anymore. I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah.
And myself got me out of a lot of situations. Because the first thing is that they assumed that I didn't know how to fight. The second thing that they assumed is that I just had no game whatsoever.
It was nothing.
That I was just walking out here like Urkel and shit.
Yeah.
And what ended up coming to a head is that they tried to, finally they got annoyed by the fact that I just wasn't getting hurt in these scenarios they kept trying to put me in. So, they decided what they would do is that they would try to catch me at my bus stop and try to fight me. And that they would try to shank me to send a message to my brother.
Jesus Christ!
Because they didn't like the fact that I existed. I was irksome to their existence.
What the fuck?
So...
Bro, what the shit? Would they actually attack you?
Yes! What happened was that they didn't actually know what my bus stop was, so instead they just waited to try and get onto my bus stop. But the thing is that for at least where I went to school, the school district does not let children get off at their bus stop unless they don't let kids get off at other bus stops unless it is their bus stop.
Yeah.
Because the bus only goes a certain route. So what they did is they waited for there to be a substitute. And when that substitute was there, they made their move then.
Jesus.
So what they did is that they were gonna try and slow follow me through my neighborhood to see if they would be able to catch me off guard. But I saw them walking behind me. So the rule that we have here, at least in the South, in the Muskogee County School District of Georgia, is that you are not considered off school property until you are physically in your home. Until you walk past the threshold of your building, you are on school property. And so, you are responsible for anything you do when you are on school property.
Right.
Knowing this loophole, I knew that if I was going to be jumped, that what would end up happening is that they would try to fight me. And when they try to fight me, I'd have to stand my ground.
Yeah.
There happened to be a school worker that lived around the corner on the upper street across the hill that my house was at the bottom of. And sure enough, he crossed through. But what happened in slow motion is basically they wanted to try to fight me.
Yeah.
And so, when they got off the bus, the first thing that they tried to do was that. One of them came at me with a lanyard clip, which is sharpened metal. Another one came at me with a folding knife. Then he struggled to the ground. I started beating their ass on the ground.
Yeah.
But then they eventually got the upper hand because there's two of them and one of me. And one of them cut a clean cut across my eye.
Jesus. Oh my god. Well, your eye was not permanently injured, I'm hoping, yeah. Jesus, though.
It's just a skin wound.
That's scary as shit, though. Wait, I mean, like, I could have gotten seriously fucked up, because... I mean, like, that... I'm so scared about that kind of stuff, about getting my eyes messed up, because you only really have one. There's nothing anyone can do to fix that, you know what I mean? That's so scary. Shit. But, I mean, luckily, got out largely unscathed.
I can see the fucking fiddlesticks. He just moved on my control ward, because you guys are overplaying the bottom side.
Fiddlesticks, bro. Fuck.
It's like, you have to back away, he's gonna gank you. I know. Maybe you should do something about it, huh?
Dominating.
Oh, fuck. God, I remember Fiddlesticks from way back in the day. I kind of like feel like people would still play old as fuck characters like that.
They've updated some of them to make them better.
I'm sure.
I personally don't like what they did to him because they've been making characters be somewhat more quote-unquote fair, but they're not actually fair. Like, there's no real form of counterplay to them. If they have ultimate, they're invincible. If they have a spell up, they're invincible. If they don't have these spells up, they're not invincible.
What was I thinking about? Sorry, I got distracted thinking about League for a minute.
Just trying to handle some incidentals while I look for a fucking package play. And I think I just found one.
Rampage.
That's one dead mid laner. But
Guess not.
but yeah, they tried to make this pass at me. It did not work out the way they
Oh,
wanted
right,
to.
yeah.
The school worker recorded the entire assault, and when they were brought up to the tribunal, it was discovered that Jakara Cole, now, he's not a very bad guy. I've gotten to actually talk to him more. Haha! Eat shit, Alawi. I got to talk to him more after, but basically what happened was that he was told that it was supposed to be a very simple whack job. Supposed to come, attack me, photograph it, post it on WorldStar, and that'd be the end of it.
God damn, they want you to end up on World Star. Fuck. that's a fate worse than death. Fuck. I mean...
They did not expect me to put up a fight.
It's still insane that that blows my mind, dude. That's crazy. But I guess that shit happens, you know?
It's regrettable, but at the same time, he said himself, I shouldn't have listened to him, but I wanted the validation of those people because I wanted to be down. From that, Jakara Cole had to go to juvie. They both had to go to juvie. But Carl was and it's ironic that his name was Carl, but Carl Eidman was the son of a war veteran father who had a distinct military career. So he ended up putting his father's military aspirations on hold because of his antics. And as a result, he just basically got disowned.
Yeah.
Then on the inside, he kept doing shit for the street gangs that he was involved in and ended up getting sent to federal prison. And then ended up dying in a fight inside a prison because he was told to fight another gang member of a rival gang because he needed to do it to prove himself to be down.
Godlike.
This is Major Tom.
Double kill.
I never did with that kind of shit. I did have a girl who like hated me in high school. I had a really fun high school experience, but like I don't know. Well, I do know. There was an end to the story, so at the time I didn't understand what was wrong with her. She just hated me, or she seemed to hate me, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why is? Because we were like both weeaboos, we're both into anime, we're both nerds. And I couldn't figure out why she hated me so much. And then one day, we were literally just standing outside the pottery studio. I went to an art school, you know? So we're standing outside the pottery studio. The teacher is right there, in full sight. And she just pushes me up against the wall by the throat and starts trying to choke me out for no reason that I could discern, right? And I thought, what the fuck? And then they went and, because after that she got suspended and they went and searched her shit. Now, I did not agree with this part. She had a box cutter in her bag. Guess what? We're visual artists. We all have box cutters in our bag. So that was kind of bullshit. But they did put that on her. And then I talked to her later, years later, she said, yeah, she was having mental health stuff that was going on. Because that was nuts. It was just literally just standing there doing nothing. And she said that she basically got triggered into choking me out. That's what she said at the time to the counselor, that like my existence was triggering her. And I found out years later when I talked to her that my best friend at the time, or the one I consider to be my best friend, who was also friends with her, had been going around starting shit. Spreading rumors saying, oh, Jessica, Aiden's saying XYZ about you. She's talking shit. And then she'd go to me and say, oh, Aiden, Jessica's talking shit about you. This fucking bitch. Like, and by the way, she got kicked out of school. She got kicked out of high school for that. I mean, like, it was insane, but I can imagine that if you hear that crap every single fucking day for like 2 years, and somebody keeps telling you, like, oh, Aiden is this massive fucking shit talker. She hates you. She's talking so much trash. And the thing that's crazy is that, I met her again, like, a year or two after she got, kicked out. She apologized to me. and told me, we both talked and were like, holy God, like Emily was doing this thing the whole time where she was trying to play us against each other so she could be the center of attention, which was the fucking thing, right? Because she wanted to be the center of everything. And it was like, you know what? Like every single thing that happened there could have been avoided, and she and I could have been friends if it wasn't for this nasty bitch who needed to be the center of attention. Many such cases. Fuck, dude. You know what I mean? God, that was so frustrating. Like, and I know it's frustrating. There were real world consequences to a woman just deciding, well, girl, I guess, to be fair, just deciding to be a bitch for no apparent reason other than wanting more attention. God damn it. I found out more about that girl in particular later in my life, which is how the girl who choked me, and I came back to reconnect, which was the crazy girl was legit crazy. If you want to hear the story, are you interested in some teenage drama? All right, teenage gossip drama that's fucking 18 years old at this point. So, or however old, I don't know. I'm 32, so whatever. When I was, so like, maybe like a year after Jessica got kicked out of school because of this shit, that the girl who created the entire feud between us, that didn't actually exist, that was totally a creation of her. Her name was Emily, and she just got off on being weird. It was, she would, first of all, I have to be clear, she always smelled like cat piss because she had a bunch of cats in their house. It lived in a very small house. Not in a cheap house, I should be clear. Quite expensive house. But small, because it's in the middle of Baltimore, like in the ritzy area, you know? So small house, but not cheap. They were not poor. She just chose not to wash her clothes, and her parents were extremely liberal, so they were like, oh, well, whatever you want to do, let the child decide what they want to do. So she would wear clothes, go home, take them off, throw them on the floor, and I know because I stayed the night at her house a couple of times because we were very close friends. I only stayed a couple of times because the whole house smelled like fucking cat piss and shit. But like all the cats would come in and just piss all over her clothes, and she wouldn't fucking wash them. She never washed them. She just picked shit up off the fucking floor and be like, I'm gonna wear this today. And what was she wearing? Tutus and like bright green, like neon green suspenders. Ew. The weirdest shit. Yeah, because attention was, she needed attention all the time. So she would dress bizarrely. One of the things that she did when we were like, I think starting in sophomore year, she had one long strand of hair, like not just a strand, but like a little clump of hair that she let grow, and she cut the rest of it. So she, on her right-hand side of her head, she just had one in the front, one long lock of hair, and then the rest of it was cut like pixie cut length. It was really bizarre looking, but again, the thing was, she has to be center of attention and be weird and look weird all the time. And you know, when you're 16, you think, oh, that's so cool and quirky. She doesn't care what people think about her. When in reality, oh, she cares a lot what people think about her, right? That's why she's doing this shit. It's all intentional. It's all to get attention. Like, and sometimes we'd like sitting in drawing class or something, you know, and she would just literally like fall off her chair and spurg out and be like, sorry, I had a spasm, and just and when I have to say the kind of drawing classes that we're talking about here, right? There's a nude model in the room, okay? And she would just fall over her easel or something and be like, oh, sorry, I had a spasm. And it's because she wants attention. We're sitting here for 3 hours drawing a model who is being paid, but is also having to fucking stand in front of teenagers nude, okay? You know, and it is not necessarily an easy job, because you gotta stand still for hours at a time. Not an easy job, you know? I mean, I guess people would say it's easy because you're literally not doing anything, but it's, you know, it's
I've had to do that
exposing,
job.
literally,
I've
to
had
do that shit.
I've had to do that job before, not just
Yeah?
for sex work, but also as a paid thing. Because
Mhm.
man, there's so many fucking artists in Atlanta.
And people, they want to pay to have a nude model. It's not unusual. Like that way, you can actually draw from life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I will make use
It's
of
important.
your corpse.
It's not like it's an embarrassing thing. It's just
No, it's not.
slightly annoying in that there are people that will see the nude, naked body, and because of the culture that they have normalized nowadays,
We have to be very clear. In my high school, we did not use the word naked because naked implies the lack of clothing.
Yes.
Nude is the natural state of the human body.
Oh god. The idea that most people have when they see the naked body, nude body, naked body,
Yes, thank
multiple,
you, nude.
or
Use
the
correct term.
fun word, seeing people in various stages of undress,
In the buff. There you go.
is that they would usually attach the idea. I'm gonna use this.
Well, it's again, like I said, naked implies a lack of clothing, which implies a lack of a nakedness is that there's something missing, whereas nude is the natural state. That's why Mr. Kent, who was the head of the art department and who was very homosexual, but a lovely man, was like, please do not say the word naked. Please use the word nude. I loved him. He was amazing. And he had a tiny little pug, and he would like, okay, I kind of love when gay people were a little bit flamboyant about it, like in an appropriate setting. And he would just traipse through the holes. There's no better word for it. With his little pug that he would just, on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
I love that man. He was wonderful. But he also was, we always called him a ninja because he was quiet as fuck. And if you were doing anything wrong, he was lurking around, ready to catch it. He's like, well, girls, what are we doing here? It's like, oh shit. Mr. Kent's here. I love that guy. He was great.
I had one of those once. His name was... Well, actually I had two of them, because that's connected to a different story, but then I had... Well, technically I had three of them. The first one was my 4th grade teacher, who ended up becoming my 6th grade teacher and my ride to a Alabama high school, middle school / high school, to go through middle school, because my mother trusted him more than she trusted the school system to do it, by the name of Seth.
Oh, yeah.
He always
Understandable.
came to work in a 3-piece suit or in a business casual khaki polo combo.
Yeah.
And she was the only person she trusted to allow a man to paddle my ass, ever.
Like, I would not have trusted Mr. Kent to paddle people's asses. What he did do, though, is that he was very strict about the dress code, which was no hats. So in his office, he had a wall of hats, of all the hats he had confiscated from students.
Profane.
He was very proud of that.
The second one was my architecture instructor, who was a very eccentric man by the name of Clayton Graham. He is an actual proper mainstream architect who teaches at a high school for vocations.
Yeah, in my school, I went to like what do you call it, a magnet school, So it was like everyone was trying to go there. It was a vocation, well, not really vocational, but yeah, there were legitimate like artists who taught there, and photographers and musicians and shit, whatever your field was.
I do not live.
I forget the name of the last one. Actually, no, I remember the name of them. There's 4. There's another woman. Oh, I'm pretty sure at this point is dead. She was very old.
Oh, jeez.
Name was I think Bethany Nassett. And then the last one was a... Get away from the Aatrox with your cringe bullshit. The last one was a 3rd grade teacher who ended up getting pregnant, and I think if it's the same woman, otherwise they just have the same names. The one by the name of Kim Rhodes, who effectively had like, I guess they went to the same fraternity. Probably is the reason my mother liked her so much.
Okay, yeah.
The fuck off with me with your cringe
Dude,
bullshit.
my Spanish teacher, we had 2 Spanish teachers. One was a lady, and the other one was Senor Tabena. I cannot remember the woman's name, but she was my teacher, even though I didn't have class with Senor Tabena. If you were in Spanish, which is 2 languages you had to choose from, you could do French or Spanish, Senor Tabena or Monsieur Tabena, and we were forced you to call him that, was if you were in one of those classes, he would only speak to you in that language. He was a bit eccentric. Basically, everyone at my high school was eccentric. But the woman, I just gotta say, she got pregnant also when I was in high school at one point. She was a young woman, she wanted to have a baby. She had big old Abby Shapiro tier knockers, okay? And nobody paid attention to anything she said because we were all just kind of entranced. I mean, they were, big old mommy milkers, sloppers, hangers, floppers, if you will. Like, giant kids. I did feel kind of bad for her because she knew, too, that none of those kids... It's an art school, so everybody's gay to a certain degree. So it's the girls and the boys are like, sure, senora, whatever you just said, I'm totally paying attention, I guarantee it. But
It's one of those points where you're just like, yes, even I, as a gay man, understand what them bitches are knocking about.
look, everyone can appreciate a nice set of tits. Just saying. I don't care if you're gay or straight. Everyone can appreciate a nice set of tits. That's what brings us all together as humans, is that, gay, straight, bisexual, left, right, communist, fascist, whatever you are, we can all appreciate a nice set of mommy milkers, I think. It is the universal factor of the human species. Everybody likes booby. And I've yet to be proven wrong on that. I believe that that's absolute truth. And what was I talking about? Oh, I have so many stories about my school, but this girl who choked me out, right? And the other weirdo girl who, who I was friends with, who encouraged it, and was doing this whole thing behind the scenes to create the animosity between me and this other girl that would never have existed if she hadn't been worm tongue telling lies and bullshit into each of our fucking ears. So, my first... Okay. She got a boyfriend, which is weird, right?
Well, women usually tend to have girlfriends and boyfriends.
No. Considering the cat piss and the weird way of dressing and the hair thing. But she found this guy, I don't know how they met, actually, named Justin, and he was, over the moon in love with her. And her way of reacting to this was to treat him like dog shit. Treat him like dog shit in front of everybody. And by dog shit, I mean, one time I remember, they came over to my house, where was I at the time? And we were sitting there, we were watching memes and funny videos on YouTube. We're just hanging out, sitting around the old warmth of the computer, watching dumb shit on the internet. This is 2006. It might not even been YouTube at the time, 2007. We're just watching memes and browsing 4chan and stuff, and that's what we did. And just having a good time. And all of a sudden, this guy, first of all, Justin, he's a big dude. He's 300 something pounds, maybe edging on 400. Real large lad. He was I think he was full Hispanic or 3/4 Hispanic. Yeah, and I think he was 3/4 Hispanic and 1/4 black. And he had a little bit of a fro going on. It was a really sweet guy, and I have to be honest, I realized later that the only reason Emmy ever hung out with him is because he had a car. And I was like, oh shit. But here's this fucking story, right? I don't know how I ended up on this topic, but I still think it's interesting. We were sitting there though, watching memes, and she just looked back at him for a second, and then reached her fist up and punched him in the face with the back of her fist. For no fucking reason. And he got a massive nosebleed. My mom's in the other room. She comes in. My mom is, she's a teacher of children, so she's very, very, what's the right word? Kind and caring, and she, wants to look after people. She comes in, my mom's freaking out, I'm freaking out, my other friend who was there, Laura, is freaking out. And he was just like, oh no, this happens all the time. And then this awoke in me my baby bird complex, which is the only way I can describe it, of me being like, I am now attracted to this man because I watched him get abused, and it makes me sad, right? So we used to go to the Chanology protests. Do you remember that? Do you remember Chanology?
I do.
Let me find a video. Hang on, because there's video evidence of it. I'm, you know, I don't mind really. I've talked about this before plenty of times. DC, Epic. They called us the Epic Fail Brigade. What we did is we used to show up at the Chanology protests, not because we really agreed with what they were doing, but in fact because we were irritated that they were taking 4chan off the internet. We didn't like that. We thought it was cringe. So we would show up dressed really, really obnoxiously. And you can see, oh, I'll send you the video. Oh, no. You'd have to guess which one of them is me. We're all in high school here.
I'll probably figure it out.
Yeah, you probably could figure it out. We would just show up and like troll them essentially, but then we ended up actually getting involved. Like they let us put on this sketch where we just did, we did the Xenu whole thing. Oh my god, it's such cringe. Oh my god, sorry I'm watching this video, it's so bad.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm so not ready.
I'm gonna guess the teal hat?
No, the teal hat is Emmy.
Rampage.
She's staying next to her boyfriend, Justin. He's not as fat as I remember him being now looking at him. I thought he was like 400 pounds. He's like 250 max. Goddamn. I am the one on the right. I'm up in with the pink mask.
That would have been my second guess.
Well, there's only 2 girls in it, so it's one. Then again, did you just assume my gender? Anywho, so I like kissed him one night when we were hanging out because I was so like, Emmy literally hates you and treats you like shit. By the way, guys, I'm 16 or 17 at this time. Okay, like you make dumb decisions when you're a teenager. So my first kiss, legit. Even though the guy standing next to me in this video with the orange mask, he's a literal communist, and he actually was my first proper boyfriend, but that was after. No, that was before. So yes, I would have been closer to like, I was 17, yeah. So we'd been dating, but we didn't kiss or anything. We were just, I don't know. High school relationships are weird. So I kissed the large lad because I was sad that his girlfriend was literally physically and mentally abusive to him constantly. And I don't know if that's why, but it did make me like feel sad for him and stuff. And then immediately he went home, told her, and then the next day I show up to school and she is bitching to everybody about how I'm a home wrecker. We're 17, okay? You know what I mean? I'm a home wrecker. I've destroyed her relationship because I kissed her boyfriend who she publicly fucking beat. And by the way, everyone in our school watched her publicly fucking beat him all the time. And so she was doing this whole like, oh my god, you know, shit. This home wrecker's destroyed my relationship, blah, blah, blah. Even though he immediately went back to her, like, told her this literally the same day. It was my first time ever kissing a guy. I really regret all this shit, but you know, teenagers make dumb decisions. And at first, everybody was against me in school. Like, oh yeah, you know, Aiden is a horrible home wrecker. She's a slut. She's a bitch. Until Emmy wouldn't fucking let it go. Then everyone was like, wait a minute, Emmy, don't you literally beat this guy every fucking day in front of us? Smash his face in, break his nose? Don't you say constantly that you actually hate him and he's a slug and that you just are placating him and you just let him hang around you? Yeah, that shit didn't fucking fly for long. This is again the same girl who created this whole shit between me and another girl years earlier.
Yum yum.
No, I didn't fucking date Justin. Fuck that. The other guy there, the guy in the orange mask, was a communist, and all we did was sit around and talk about libertarianism all day. I mean, that was the healthiest relationship I've probably ever been in. Just kidding. No, we legit though. That other guy, like, all we would do is just sit around and debate communism all day, every day. He'd just come over to my house because he lived like down the street. We'd just sit there and like sit in the same like lazy boy chair and like cuddle, and then just yell at each other about politics. Really a setup for my life going forward, I suppose so, right? Well, I don't know, high school's just some shit. That's my entire story. I have a lot of stories about our fucking teachers, because the teachers that we had were... You were talking about those weird-ass teachers. We had some weird motherfucking teachers. The funniest one, of course, was... Pennsylvania? No, what was his name? Mr. Veal. Not Mr. Veal. Mr. Veal was cool. I liked Mr. Veal. Oh my god, what was this guy's name? Why is it escaping me? Oh, this story actually is funny as fuck. That story was just tragic and retarded. Shit. Why can't I think of his... Oh my god, why can't I remember his name? And I'd have no one to ask anymore about what his name was. Not Mr. Veal. Was, fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna call him Teacher X, because I can't remember his name. He taught, 3D design and mixed media. If you don't know what that is, and that sounds esoteric, it's because it is, sort of. But this dude, his two great art projects that he was very proud of was one where he had students from the school come in and tell him a secret, and he typed the secrets up on little fortune cookie pieces of paper, and he went around the city of Baltimore and just left them in like public bathrooms and shit, and he called it an ongoing installation piece. And then his other project was he had people whisper secrets into paper bags, and then he rolled the paper bag up and he stapled them onto a big board, and he put that in a gallery as the accompanying piece. Do you understand the kind of bullshit, quote-unquote, art this guy's making, alright? Oh, his name will come to me eventually, but I'll keep calling him Mr. X until it comes to me.
One more grave.
One of the funniest things that ever happened, though, is that one of my best friends in high school was this guy named Devon. He's like 6'6", 6'7", very tall, quite obese, I'm gonna be honest, and extremely gay. Just flamboyant. Like, I always said that I anticipated him at some point to just, like, burst through a wall like the fucking Kool-Aid Man to these two, like, done with doors, you know?
Oh, yeah!
I don't have time for the store. I'm in here now. And very much talked like that, you know, he put on the very gay inflection on things, like, girl, I don't have any time for this. I'm just, you know, that, super gay. Like, that's just how he was. And Mr. Flores was the name of the teacher. Devon took to him because Devon knew how to play that guy's weird bullshit against him. So, like, we had to bring in a found object to make an art piece out of one time. And I was like, oh, we all had brought in our shit. I had this old lantern that I had found that we had around the house and in storage. It was a really old, like, from the 1800s lantern. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll do something with this. I had two of them, and I had a whole plan of what I was going to do. It doesn't matter. But everyone had brought in their found objects. And I was like, Devon, what'd you guys think? Well, I was out on I was waiting for the bus, and I happened to find this old Jack Daniels bottle that some homeless person just left on the side of the street. And this is my found object. And Mr. Flores thought it was the most brilliant thing he'd ever seen. He's like, oh, you can tell some stories. Who left this Jack Daniels bottle? And what did it mean for their life? Like, this is the shit I went through in high school.
Double kill.
You know?
It sounds like the plot of a High School Musical movie. But not like the A plot, like the B plot.
So here's the thing: High School Musical was actually based on my high school.
Wow.
So, it's the reality. Yeah, the first movie was supposed to be filmed in my high school, and they said like the one people who were making the movie were like, okay, well you're gonna have to cancel classes for like 6 months while we film it, and Mr. Kent and Mr. Moore, who was the principal, said you can go fuck yourself. Hell no, we have to actually teach classes here. You can't just use our campus to do whatever the fuck you want. So they then ended up filming the first High School Musical movie in my mother's school, where she taught. It's a college where she teaches. Preschool. They have a preschool in the college for students and stuff. So I guess High School Musical is largely based on my life, allegedly. It is not at all what it's like to go to Baltimore School for the Arts, but it's some kind of strange approximation, I suppose. People do not dance through the hallways. Sometimes people would sing in the hallways, to be fair, but usually people shut that shit down because it's fucking annoying. Oh my god. But I remember one time, though, this is my point in this is that Mr. Flores, he was really weird. He would always talk like this, and he'd be like, all right, go find your found objects. Oh, this is a very fascinating found object. Oh, a Jack Daniels bottle. That's how he talked. I don't know, just how he was. But every time he would leave the room, he'd be like, I have to use the restroom. I have to go to my office for a moment. I'll be right back. Don't touch the bandsaw. Every time, without fail, don't touch the bandsaw. If you don't know what a bandsaw is, it's a big piece of heavy machinery that is a saw that you can use to saw things with. And of course we had this because people would use it for projects. Every time, though, don't touch the bandsaw. After months of that, because we all knew this, we'd been in his classes for years, I think, actually, at this point. And Devon's like, oh, Mr. Flores is out for a minute. I'll just use the bandsaw for a real quick second. I just have to cut one little thing. And we use this device all the time to cut shit. All of us did. He cuts the tip of his fucking finger off immediately. Just right off. Tip of his fucking index finger. Gone. And he's screaming, there's blood fucking everywhere. And Mr. Flores walks back in, he's in the door frame, and he looks at what's happening, he's like, that's why you never touch the bandsaw.
Just spears him around the doorway.
He didn't even go to get to Devon personally yet, or do anything, just stand in the door frame. I don't give a shit, that's why you don't touch the fucking bandsaw.
If it would have been our drama teacher, what would have happened is that they would have walked around the corner, they're physically in the wall, they just appear, I'm not sure how to describe this. There's this spinning effect where something turns as it appears and disappears inside of the warped frame from the edit, and it's they would have done that, turn around and be like, that's why you don't touch the bandsaw. And they just start gliding through the room.
It's the funniest ass shit. I've witnessed this stuff in my life, and to this day, that memory just brings happiness into my heart of him just. Also, I always had a good kind of relationship with him, even though he was a weirdo. But one time I was staying way late after school. It's 7 o'clock at night. I'm working on my little senior piece. I'm there with one other person. And I was like, yeah, fuck Mr. Flores. And then immediately he came, and we didn't know he was there. We'd been there for hours. And all of a sudden he popped out of his fucking office. He was like, I'll remember that remark, Aiden. I was like, shit. He's been here the whole time. We've been here for 3 hours and had no fucking idea he was there. Fucking gremlin, dude. So much weird shit. Oh, I had this in English class. Our English teacher is named Mr. Kessler. It was a rotund man, right? Yeah, there's 2 stories I have about him. One was he was wearing. I love this one girl. She was a vocalist. She was also a large lass herself, but her name was Astarte, and she was just always really exuberant, I guess. She had a very outgoing personality. It was always very positive. And he came in one day and he was wearing this. He was wearing brown, khaki pants and a green sweater vest. Or no, there's three stories. a green sweater. She's like, Mr. Kessler, you look like a tree. I love your outfit today. And he just looked so sad that she said he looked like a tree. And then he also had this red sweater vest that he used to wear all the time. She's like, Mr. Kessler, I love your red sweater vest. I love your red sweater vest. And then at some point, he just stopped wearing his red sweater vest. And she asked, was like, Mr. Kessler, where's your red sweater vest? I haven't seen it in forever. He's like, oh, I got mustard on it. She's like, can I still have it? I'll get the mustard out. She wanted that red sweater vest just to clean it so he would wear the red sweater vest. But the worst story regarding him. That poor man. I forced him to read my Star Trek fan fiction every week. We had to submit, papers every week, like creative writing and stuff for English class. And I was writing an ongoing Star Trek original concept. I forced him to read it. But anyway, the worst thing ever. So Mr. Kessler's a Jewish man.
Okay.
And we didn't have a just that weekend or that week. I think there was some reason why we weren't doing something else in class. But we were gonna watch Schindler's List, right? Okay. There was a kid. I think he was he was a theater major because this kid is rich as fuck. I think his name was Colin. I think that's correct. And he was an extra who was maybe supposed to be in The Sixth Sense for the kid that was it not Macaulay Culkin. Who's the kid in The Sixth Sense? I mean, what's that kid's name?
I have the actor's name in my head, but it's not coming out. It's the consequence of any person who ever shows up in Kingdom Hearts. It just goes right in the memory hole. Yes, that guy.
Haley Joel Osment. There you go. So he was the understudy for Haley Joel Osment because his parents basically paid for him to be. This is like the whitest kid imaginable, like on Earth. Like if you were to distill down like obnoxious, rich white person, that's who he was. Just to a T. Super rich, didn't go to, like, one time he just didn't show up to school for like 2 weeks. And he's like, yeah, like, my parents were like, why don't we just go to Portugal for like a vacation? So we all just like got on our yacht and we decided to go to Portugal. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, insane levels of wealth on this kid. And he had no idea how to relate to normal humans. Didn't even tell the school that you went on an impromptu trip to Portugal. Whatever. But we were watching Schindler's List, and first of all, he has the IQ of a goldfish, like, he's blonde hair, blue-eyed. I know that his parents thought he was going to be super famous. He's not. I've never seen him anywhere ever again, so he didn't end up being a famous actor as they were sure that he was going to be, probably because he can barely fucking read, although I don't know if that really is a detriment in Hollywood. We're sitting there fucking watching Schindler's List, which is like the most depressing movie ever, obviously, and he's putting a book over his head and going and then taking it off and then putting it back on, amusing himself. I mean, like, I'm serious. I was never really sure if this kid had legit brain damage, because what the fuck? Like, what? We're 16, okay? Like, what are you doing? And Mr. Kessler, who is the sweetest man with his little red sweater vest, is just looking at him and fucking fuming. Dude, I don't know. What the fuck? How can you be sitting there watching a movie about the fucking Holocaust and entertaining yourself and chuckling loudly over putting a book over your own head? I'll never get it. But, bruh, that was some crazy shit. I'll never get that. Weird as fuck. I love Mr. Kessler, though. He was a great teacher.
I wish I had a lot of stories like that, but unfortunately mine don't circulate around my instructors as much as they circulated around shit that we did when we had to go on trips with them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we had one interesting trip. One senior and junior year, the visual arts class went to DC and New York respectively. So New York seniors, DC juniors to go to the art galleries. when we were in New York, they basically just released us because we're all 17, almost 18, and some of us are 18 at this point, you know. They just kind of released us, and the whole plan was that we were all gonna go to a strip club. That didn't work out.
What happened?
Oh, Mr. Kent caught us doing it. The very gay guy with the pug. He caught us trying to do it, and he's like, "No, children, back on the bus. We're going to MoMA. Like, no. Metropolitan Museum of Art. You're not going to a strip club." He followed us to the strip club. Hey, Bill. Hey, one sec.
Mm-hmm.
You decay and do not know it.
Sorry, Bill was just asking me about dinner. But yeah, like that was like, no, children, you're not going to the strip club.
Your rights. It hurts to remember.
How much different would that be today, right? Like the gay teacher stepped in and told us to not do it. You know what I mean? Now it would be like, yes, children, go to the strip club.
An enemy has been slain.
Hopefully there'll be lots of drag queens there so that you can experience your sexuality or whatever. Oh, damn it, bro. It's so fucking backwards. All of society is. God damn.
I'll remember.
Oh well, I had a great time in high school. I love high school and college. I had great experiences in both. Not so much in grad school. I still had some good times in grad school, but not all the time. It's a lot of work. God damn it.
This guy.
Our time.
Probably this. Double fucking swords because I can't do anything. Very messy early game.
If I'm just gonna rant, just go off and down memory lane. One of my what's the correct term? One of my fellow students in my cohort in high school, his name was Keith. Now I went to Keith's like 18th birthday party. I knew him quite well, but I don't feel like I know anything about that guy or ever did, because I don't think he necessarily spoke English. he was a skinny, like scrawny black dude. He used to be like that all the time. That's how he talked. I'm not joking. That's what he would do. Be like, hey. He would just like communicate in weird sounds. He was not like an idiot or anything. He was always memeing, essentially, you know? We had this teacher for digital art and photography. His name was Bia. She's from Germany. And one day we were in her class, and he was like, "I gotta get all these bees off me," and slapped the back of his neck real hard. And she's like, "Where is the bee? There is bee in here? Where is bee?" I don't understand. He's like, "I gotta get all these bees off me." It freaked her out. She's like looking for the fucking bee.
An enemy has
And he was
been
just
slain.
making fun of her name, really.
Shut down.
But for the waters,
Enemy
the
rampage.
mist will take me. What's one more grave?
And yeah, my name's Rebecca, right? And he decided that my name was Ray Charles. And so he would just call me Ray Charles all the time. He had nicknames like that for everybody. That kid was funny as fuck. I don't know what the fuck he was up to, but he was funny as shit. Oh yeah, I'd love some ice. Thank you, Bill. Oh, I miss that kid. He's got a family of his own and shit now, which is awesome.
Behold the horrors of the Isle. To most, life is fleeting. To me, it is a quagmire.
Sorry about that. Bill, like the sweetheart, he has brought me some ice for my drink.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was very sweet.
Even a monk needs respite.
Yeah, my high school was just weird. Everything about it was weird.
It's one of those kind of, it's one of the kind of good weird situations where it's like,
yeah, I think everyone's high school experience is a little weird. I think probably because everybody's growing up, you know, and figuring out who they are.
I remember I remember several stories. It depends on exactly whether or not I'll get banned on Twitch for saying them, which is the reason I haven't been saying them. There was a time in high school where a black girl bullied me into trying to let her use my locker for a period of time, and it was a very awkward experience because it's not like I liked the girl. It was just like, let me use your locker. I'm like, I don't know. I think the logic in my head was like, I don't know. Is she gonna beat my ass? I don't want to risk finding out.
Why does she want the fucking locker?
She wanted to have a place to store her shit because she apparently was banned from using her own.
How the fuck do you get banned from your own locker? That's so weird. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. No clue, man.
Probably had something to do with drugs or some shit. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't quite matter. It's just I ended up becoming the guy she put the shit in the locker of.
We had weird lockers for visual arts because you know, we had to like store painting supplies and easels, and not easels, but so our lockers, rather than being those, you know, the typical style locker that's like metal and what, like a foot by 2 feet or whatever. Ours were about 4 feet by a 1.5 foot horizontal, and they were made out of wood. And it was yeah, weird. You could store a lot of shit in there though. We had regular lockers, but for visual arts, you need to have those big lockers for the, you know, for canvases and stuff.
An enemy has been slain.
Had a great time in high school though. It was a really good experience. And again, I loved my college experience too. I was telling this story earlier too about college, is that I had this, you know, I went to a Catholic university for my undergrad, and I was like a hardcore atheist at the time when I was 18 and edgy, right? As many people are. I'm now a Christian, but and a Catholic, but I was a hardcore edgy atheist at the time. And we had this priest though. He was awesome. His name was Father B, and Father B would just walk around campus, snapping his fingers, and he'd snap it and go, "Morning, Saint. How's it going, Saint?" Point at you, you know, with this double point at you. "How's it going, Saint? Morning, Saint. The afternoon, Saint," etc. He called everybody Saint all the time. He was so cool. Like, he would, I didn't even realize it completely at the time how cool this dude was, because like he would sit with this big open green space in the middle of the campus, and he would just kind of sit out there like on a bench, and people would come and debate him or try to debate him on religion, on philosophy. And he'd just sit there and listen, and then like slowly destroy all their fucking arguments, you know, in an extremely calm and like pleasant manner. He was super interesting. And I remember one time though, we were walking through campus. My friend Ethan had this. He's a big metalhead. He's got like long curly hair, like longer than mine now, like, you know, tit length, long curly hair. And he's got a Bad Religion shirt on with an upside down cross on it, right? So Father B's walking around campus doing his snapping, as he did every day, and he's like, "Morning, Saint. How's it going, Saint?" And he was like, you know, my group of friends, it was myself, was like, "Morning, Aiden. Morning, Ari." My female friend is with me. He's like, yeah, "Morning, Saint. How's it going, Saint?" And he's like, "Hello, Ethan," and then just walked back. When he saw that shirt, and just like, I don't appreciate that one. I'd never heard him, you know, I was like, going Saint. I called everyone Saint. Never heard him go, "Good morning, Ethan." Oh, fuck. Yeah, I had great times in high school and university. Grad school was a bit rough. Grad school is supposed to be rough, I suppose, but yeah. I had fun times there too. Memories.
I do is
Sorry, I'm just waxing on the past. I hope people still are able to like form good memories in high school and stuff, but school is so fucked now for these kids. I feel bad. It's all this weird PC shit, you know. I don't think they can have fun anymore. Can they make happy memories like that?
Not easily. Actually, bitch. You said your support to sit in the top brush and cheese me because you got your ass whooped.
Bruh, yeah.
See here. There were a couple of stories, but most of them are degenerate stories.
Oh yeah.
So, are you familiar with the organization known as Skills USA?
No.
So, Skills USA is supposed to basically be a vocational training program slash school after curricular activity that people can take part in as a methodology to prepare them for this guy's writing this down.
Prepare them for a job or whatever, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
vacation.
what
program, yeah.
they ended up teaching most children is how to get away with the lewdest shit imaginable in the world.
What? Really?
Yes. Like, the system is called Skills USA, but it might as well be called Hose Right Now. Because children used it as a way to basically go and have adventurous fun in the world by basically fucking everything they saw could breathe and move.
What?
So what happens is that since most of the people who are involved in it are people who are in the secondary school system,
Yeah.
high school and college, you would go there for your vacation. But what ended up happening is that you're supposed to network, right? And basically, what children understood when they heard networking is fuck everything that moves. Basically, that's what they ended up doing.
What? Hang on a second. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. But what the fuck? I'm so confused by this. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Trying to let you get the execute. What you fucking paying me for, bro? Your pike! You just wasn't low enough. Ain't no thing. So the kids would end up having hookups. Because you wanted the execute. So they wanted to go to places and basically meet people, hook up, and basically meet and fuck. That's what a lot of kids used it for. So, whenever there would be an out-of-state trip, we would come up with these fucking sexcapade games. And a lot of the time, a lot of kids did it because they were fucking bored. They didn't get to travel much. If they did get to travel much, it wasn't always to the places that they wanted to be and go to. So it was an experience for them to do something different. Up.
Strive to
Dead. But they did it as a methodology to have fun away from their parents. And it wasn't that they were just using it as like, we're just gonna have spring break on Skills USA's dime, because you had to pay for your own you had to pay for your own shit to get to these competitions that you were at. Because you actually did compete. There was things like, there was not just the vocations themselves, but things like the vocational chapter display for your particular chapter. Working on business practice of syndication and marketing. All of the shit that normal people trying to get into the business world would have to learn. And the kids were just simply, they were built different. They were actively built different.
Were they built flawed? Were they incorrect? The boy is flawed.
A lot of the times it was mostly the girls that would do wild shit, but a lot of the time it was some boys too. there were things like getting the 50 heads of state, because one of the things they love to do, because they're basically like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, is they like to collect things like, Jesus Christ, how many fucking pinks are there? They would like to collect things like state quarters. State quarters a particular year, namely of the year in question that they happen to be going to an event. We ended up doing this at Skills USA Nationals in 2012 in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Power and Lights District, which is the location of Hotel President, and also of this place called Constantino's, which hosts the Jones Cane Soda above pool bar and grill, as well as a bunch of stadium shit, basically like a miniature New York. That's what the Power and Lights District looks like. It's a couple of miles away from Oceans of Fun, which is a water-based themed amusement park. It's like Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. Worlds of Fun is the amusement park, Oceans of Fun is the water park. And what we ended up doing is that, because we love puns, well, most of us love puns.
Who doesn't? Yes.
They decided the 50 heads of state to basically be that guy's dead. That man is dead.
But I will complete it.
Get away from me, Silas. Get off of her, Silas. Now you're gonna die, Silas. No, I'm gonna die. You got saved by the Nasus. Wanted to buy this entire time, but wouldn't get off the fucking Maiden. Let's do this. And... Executioners. Finish the boots, finally.
An enemy has been
And start
slain.
working on this. But, we decided to win the competition, we needed to collect all 50 state quarters, but they must be collected as confirmation of a sex act. So, the better, it could be any sex act, from a blowjob to like a menage a trois to like an open group orgy, but there was 3 requirements. 1, you must have proof of life. So you can't just say that you got the quarter from them. You need to have at least proven that you were in a state of undress when you acquired said item. You sound worried.
Yeah, this sounds, as the kids say, a bit, like some sussy baka shit. For real, no cap.
I suppose. Needed to have proof of life. It needed to be a proper 2012 state quarter. So it couldn't be like an old quarter from an old year. It had to be a 2012 quarter. And this was normal because they gave people these quarters to collect. It was something that the organization did to begin with anyways. And it needed to all happen within the time of being at the event. So, there was no cheating your way out of it.
Right.
I ended up winning it, as well as a couple of other girls from my high school. But
An enemy has been slain.
the actual acts themselves was more or less people having fun.
The dead don't fear you. No matter how
Your
you
team has destroyed a turret.
Do you motherfuckers defend the towers? It was them having fun, and also, are you by yourself? Yeah, you look like you're by yourself. No, you're not. He's here! Oh my god, get off my dick! Go away, Volcos!
Shut down. Enemy double kill.
Fucking Christ.
An enemy has been slain.
I'll kill them both of you at the same time if I have to.
been slain.
I killed one. Nice fucking loser! Yeah, 50 billion people camping your lane, I can't even get a proper gank on time.
Bruh.
Let's see here. Notable escapades that happened during this. One girl from a different high school got impregnated by one of the boys that was trying it and failed to get the hat trick.
Hat trick? What's that?
It's a sexual escapade. It's basically, most people tend to say that it's having sex with 3 people in one day, but it's actually like doing 3 different kinds of sexual acts with 3 different people.
I've never heard of this. I think probably a good sign that I haven't, I suppose. Yeah, we like, as weird as my school was, I never heard of that particular maneuver, or whatever you'd like to call it.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm just like, now my mind is back in the old high school days. We had one thing we did is the kid Keith I mentioned who'd always be like "Bah, bah," and just it was actually like a normal person outside of school. It's just like that's how he acted, you know. That's how he was. He was best friends with a guy named Brandon who also kind of did the same shit, but he was more intelligible. And one time we were in, it was either sculpture or 3D design, I can't remember, it's the same studio. And there was this guy named Trevor. And Trevor is, and I have to be honest, if you wanted to, just imagine the quintessential, stereotypical, white jock guy, blonde hair that he has pushed back up with his moose. He's wearing a polo shirt every day. That's what thank you, Phil. That's what this guy looked like. He was like really preppy looking dude, but he was at our weird art school, so he's still weird like the rest of us. And so one day Keith just went up to him and said like, and he had a girlfriend named Caitlin, and by the way, Caitlin, I think they're married. I'm fairly sure they're married now. Who is like quintessential, also beautiful, preppy white girl, long, you know, blonde hair, beautiful, etc. Like, just they were like made in a lab to be together, right? And Keith went up to him in front of the rest of the class, like, "Hey, Trevage, what would you do if I walked up to Caitlin and called her a fish wagon?" And Trevor was like, "No, you don't understand. This makes no sense. Obviously, because it's not supposed to make sense. Because it's what this happened. This kind of shit happened every day." Trevor's like, "If you fucking call my girlfriend a fish wagon, I'll beat the shit out of you." And like, playing along with the meme, but we all thought that shit was so fucking funny at the time when we were teenagers, like this fish wagon meme, that we decided to figure out what is fish wagon, and we decided that fish wagon is an STD that you get and you sit on a wagon seat that's uncovered that another person who has fish wagon has sat on before.
Carry these souls to
Like, this is probably mostly funny only to 17-year-olds or whatever, but it was funny at the time. So we made a brochure about the dangers of fish wagon and the effects of this disease, as we decided, is that it causes you to grow tentacles. We went to the local mall and we started handing out flyers, these little brochures about the dangers of fish wagon. And we got banned from the mall. No shit. Oh well, it was funny as fuck though. I don't mind. That was funny. I'm sure they don't care anymore. That was really hilarious to me at the time though. Alright, I'm gonna eat my dinner.
Okay. My turn to share.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm just going off because I have nothing. I'm just like trying to fill the dead air, you know.
Between myself and my friends, I have a Vietnamese friend named Con Gwen, and between him and I, kill your ass. Between him and I, the two of us were the two weird ones of high school. Not because there's anything wrong with us, but just because we were the eccentric ones. We would race each other to the cafeteria on Chicken Day and every other day too, to be the first ones to get the biggest piece of food possible. He would always eat the normal Vietnamese cuisine, and people would find it weird. I can't remember the exact fruit itself, but it's a fruit that's prickly on the outside and smells like dog shit.
Durian.
Yes, you'd bring durians to lunch every day, and people would be like, "Nah, I don't want to talk to that fucking alien orb eater. He eating alien orbs, bro. I can't eat shit. Like, I can't fuck with that. Like, why do you do it? It's like, bro, have you just put it in your mouth?
What's one more grave?
It smells bad, but it tastes nice, so.
Has destroyed a turret.
Between him and I,
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I guess he just backed off. Between him and I, we ended up going on a lot of adventures with our, what we now was able to finally help him accept was our gay best friends. He had struggled with it for a while because he didn't want to accept that he was gay. He would do things for our sake, and it became very clear that we needed to tell him, listen, bro, we know that you're gay. It's okay. And he's now in a wonderful, loving relationship with his furry boyfriend/husband.
Oof. Alright.
But, there's a time period where he kept just getting involved in internet relationships with, people that just didn't work out well. And he would always put on this bravado of needing to do it to prove that he's not that way. And it became very clear to us that he was trying to do it for our benefit, because he felt that if he didn't, that we'd be worried about him forever. But I remember specifically there was a conversation where we had to just all collectively stop. Myself, the two fat girls of our group, the white hipster scene girl of the group, myself, Khan, and a couple of other black guys. Tall, lanky black guy, lanky, weird black guy, and then me, the Cajun Negro, and just tell him, bro, you're gay. And it was a very long, protracted thing. And I remember what it was because it was about Parrot Hair Girl. He was dating a girl who had dyed her hair rainbow colored. And not like each piece, right, no. She dyed the entire thing like a fucking parakeet.
Watch them.
Yeah, you better flash.
They once called these
You and your fucking boyfriend.
Yet die they will.
He started dating her because he wanted to be an artist. He's a very good, talented artist, too. He could actually draw well. And it became a thing.
An ally has been slain.
All the fucking flashes. It became a thing for him to, get into these situations because he thought, well, it's online, it's less stress, I don't have to think as much, I'm not going to have to worry as much, it's not something that's going to be a concern, I'll be gold. But what ended up happening is that he kept, bro, you dead as fuck.
Killing spree.
What ended up happening is that he just kept getting into these scenarios where he'd have to commit to doing something sexual, and he just could not see it through. So eventually, we had to be like, we gotta give him some encouragement.
Water for the living.
And the encouragement did not go well, at all. He was scared of his own shadow, even, to talk to other gays and to have relationships with them. So, what ended up happening is we ended up talking to him one day, pulling him to the side after class and being like, bro, you're gay. It's like, no, I'm not. You know, I was just talking to Chat. Like, bro, you're gay. Like, Bro, I am not gay. I am not. I promise. I am not. I love women and vagina.
We're dead much
It's like, bro, you're gay. You just have to accept that you're gay, man. And I just sat and I waited to give my opinion because eventually I'd have to chime in because I lived down the street from him. He was actually the guy who I ended up walking to the house of when I was having a suicidal phase. And I ended up finding a game disc copy of multiplayer Halo 3 sitting on the side of the road outside of his house. And I picked it up, I walked to his house. I'm like, hey, bro, you want to play video games? And from then, I had been the one that his best confidant. And I could clearly see it because I already knew what I fucking was. I was Carl. And Carl was into them shits. He was a dumb bear. Big and fluffy and just the right amount of man tit that you could grab his nipple and you go, All this, of course, being shit that I just saw. I did not act upon this, because what kind of friend would I be if I was just taking advantage of him? What ended up happening is that, where are these people? They're all just sitting out of view here? Yeah, they were. What ended up happening is that everybody's kept giving their opinions about it, and I'm like, listen, Shane, you like guys. I know you like guys because I saw the porn that you were watching, and I saw the dude that you were talking to. He's like, Carl, you're supposed to keep that secret. I'm like, bro, it's not a secret. Even Victoria knows this shit. So, eventually, he decided that the only way that he'd be able to really accept his gayness is that he'd have to go to another state. And he did. I stayed in Columbus, because of course I did. And from there, it basically became my consideration and job to be the go-to friend that would help him get his parents to accept him. Which was really not that hard, because his parents were very nice. They never had a single nasty word to say to me. And when his boyfriend finally did come to visit one Thanksgiving, what ended up happening was that, well, the long and short of it is basically they had primal donkey sex that night. But the way that it was discovered is that his parents were just acclimating themselves to the idea of their son being gay, but they weren't sure if he was a bottom or a top. And his boyfriend was missing a toe from some incident. I don't remember exactly what the incident was, but I remember he was missing a toe from an incident.
Oof, yeah.
And he was introducing himself to everybody, and he kept darting his eyes at me. And later, he pulls me to the side and it's like, you knew, didn't you? I'm like, motherfucker, he was as queer as the straight eye. It's like, well, I'm nervous. We haven't really been able to have sex since we've gotten here, because I don't know if they're comfortable with, you know, his son being gay. I'm like, bro, don't you worry about it. I gotcha! So,
The enemy's inhibitors respawn soon.
What we did is I distracted Shane's parents by helping him prepare himself. But for a man who didn't know how to accept his gayness, he sure knew how to take some fucking time putting on some fucking clothes. Well, he was getting into something comfortable for him. I basically helped his parents get to know him a bit better. And then later at night, once everybody else retired, flashed away. Victor, you're picking a little bit too much. I can't think. When he retired, he decided to sneak into his bed later at night. And the one thing that we ended up hearing was purring and mewling sounds.
An ally has been slain.
Then, his parents thought, is there a cat in the living room? And I'm like, nope, not a cat. But I'm happy to tell you, your son's a bottom. And then, as soon as I finished that sentence, and the look on my face, well, you can just imagine it. The chat didn't see my face. I just looked at them, straight on them, like, your son's a bottom. And then the next thing they said, oh my god, yes! And he's loving it. I went across the street to the package store. I bought some alcohol. And then, after he was done cleaning his leaky bottom, we were all sitting across the table. Like, just folded hands like this. And they're like, son, we're proud of you. You finally popped your cherry.
Now we can be a family again.
Because his mom was like, son, I don't judge you. But what kind of feminine squeal was that? They were very accepting, but they like to bust his balls. And I'm like,
Yeah.
alright, cool, that's cool. He will not group with shit.
Oh, I got atheists mad at me on Twitter, apparently. At least they're not mad, they're just kind of like, just calling me retarded. That's fine. You can say whatever you like. Also, Bill told me this earlier. Wouldn't it be, like, instead of Super Mario Brothers, you get Super Metal Brothers, but it's, Styx and Razor Fist are the two main characters? Pretty cool. So I just finished eating dinner. It's like, I'm thinking that's it. Forgot what the fuck I'm doing.
We do not die.
Oh yeah, I'm allowed to eat meat in Canada now. Canadian mayors vow to drive down meat and dairy consumption. Alright. Are you? Oh my god. The Green Party in the UK wants to charge a couple 470 pounds for growing vegetables. I'm just looking at headlines. How dare you? We're the Green Party. How dare you?
Some of these faces I know well.
But however, the story does not end there. So, after we helped Shane pop his gay cherry, finally step out of his cashmere closet, a girl that, well, woman at this point now, but a girl who would flirt with me frequently, heavy-set woman,
My curses are only hope.
frequently gave me blowjobs, decided to make a food and brought me one day, just because she felt like it, and asked me if she wanted to go on a date to a local hibachi girl. I agreed to it, but the hoe brings her fucking friend along to fucking get food off me. And I remember sitting there, angry as shit, because after I explained with him and Shane, with his parents around the table, I remember feeling not just annoyed, but generally confused. Because it's like, if you wanted just to eat food, you could have said that.
Sorry, also I was just watching, scrolling through Twitter, and I just saw a terrible video. As you do on Twitter.
It's you they see.
Of a woman with blue hair talking about how her 4-year-old is exploring their gender identity.
I like how the enemy can just run at us in a straight fucking line and we don't do anything to stop anything. Ah, boy, if I had fucking teleport this game.
Enemy double kill.
Whoa, holy shit. Warcy's getting jacked. What the fuck? Have you seen this shit?
I've seen some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm just scrolling through Twitter. He's just got a video of him just taking hits and not even barely fucking budging. Jesus. God, I hope he fights Ralph. That would be hilarious. I mean, it would be short, to be fair.
It'd be fun to watch him fight the AIDS pig. We can actually call him that properly now. It's not just an insult that Dr. Rennercamp made. He's an actual AIDS pig.
Does he have AIDS? Where did that meme come from again?
It was confirmed that he's infected HIV positive.
Wait, no, really? I heard that meme, but I didn't really see where that came from, or...
Yes, they was confirmed on, I think, a recent Kino Casino within the last
Jim
month.
was fucking mocking him for it, but I didn't think that was real.
I'm still less resting on it's probably not real, but at the same time, I don't take this era of Andy Warcy to be the kind of person that's going to say something that he has not confirmed true, because it's much funnier if it's true.
Look, dude, the thing with Ralph is that, like, it's... The things that are true about him are so insane that it's almost like, well, like, what isn't? You know, like, could I believe that he has AIDS? Given everything else, yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's true, so I wouldn't, you know, go around saying that, but, like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
My dude has gone so off the fucking rails.
All this started with him getting mad that Sargon wouldn't go onto his podcast.
Was that really it?
Mm-hmm. He knew that he wasn't making content as good as he wanted to by himself, so he got mad that he was... Who sent me a friend request? Ask. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's Chris.
Remember, he asked me to come on to some show he was doing, like, right after the... What had happened? I don't know, there's so many Ralph events, so I can't even keep them straight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was... I think it was after he impregnated the lolicon. No, the teenager, you know.
Yes.
And he asked me to come on to one of his streams, and because it was before I had basically said that I thought Kiwi Farms was free speech, because that's when he decided he didn't like me anymore. But it was just hilarious. But yeah, like, but he invited me onto the show, and it was I think it was right after he had hooked up with the 18-year-old, and I was like, yo, dude, I'm gonna I just didn't respond. Mm-hmm. I just don't. Nah, my dude. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, I don't really want to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good.
Gotta start setting up the thing now. I just have to transition over. I don't like how I cannot just transition over the better way. I gotta transition over like this.
Oh, Spin didn't really give me a good answer, but I think he said he'll come on, so yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done playing League for today, so we're gonna be taking this party over to YouTube for another versus chat. So please pile into the Discord and get ready to watch some fucking cringe. And if you like what you see, please consider leaving a humble donation at twitch.tv/singleplayercarl. And if you do not want to give your money to Nasty Twitch, you can also send it directly to me on Subscribestar and Ko-fi.com/singleplayercarl. I'll be seeing y'all in 5 minutes. Technically 30 seconds. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. And come watch the dumb shit.